YouTube, what's good? Frost here. My favorite build just got so much better to the point that I'm just shocked and impressed with the tech that we have available to use inside of PvE. I hope that by the end of the video, you come to appreciate this build, even if you're not a hunter main, even if you do not like Strand. Throughout this video, I'm going to break down every piece of my kit and show you some in-game footage of how it is working inside of PvE. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. Before we get back into the video, I need you to know about the Advanced CG Fall 2023 collection. It's finally live. Choose between hoodies and t-shirts. They're high quality options at a good price, and guess what? They're limited edition, so you have to hurry because once they're gone, you will never see them again. So don't waste any time. Head on over to Advanced GG on their website, or you can click the link down below to also visit them and learn more about some of these awesome pieces of clothing. Anyways, let's get back into the video, and shout out to Advanced for sponsoring the video. My exotic of choice is going to be the Strand helmet, the facade, I don't know how else to pronounce it, Acrobat Focus, it's what it's called. You gain Woven Mail when activating grapple. Woven Mail gives us resist inside of PvE that is very useful. The next part is we got increased flinch resistance while Woven Mail is active. Now, what it doesn't tell you is that when you combine this with a specific fragment, you basically have tangles on demand. As for my mods, some of these are flexible and I'll tell you which ones are, do not worry.
Okay.
The helmets are flexible. I like to get heavy ammo and special. I like to make orbs with my Strand primary. Now my gauntlets, I like to buff up my Strand reload speed. I do like to use heavy-handed because we're gonna fly in and use the grapple melee to make orbs of power to heal ourselves. This is something that I learned from Crucible that I'm bringing over into PvE to allow you to make some insane plays in top tier endgame content without worrying about dying. We have impact induction. Causing damage with your melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. Now our melee has been buffed several times inside of PvE. It tags multiple enemies, but the best part is that because it tags so many enemies, we actually get to get our grapple back faster. So that is one key element right there that I want you to think about and hold in your mind as we continue to talk. On the chest piece, we have a couple flexible mods here. It really depends on the activity that you want to use. For the specific GM that I participated in, I decided to use some solar resist mods and arc ones. Next up is the boots. Now, one really important mod here is recuperation. This is much better than better already, as you can just get that chunk of health immediately by making so many orbs. Your teammates make orbs, you make orbs with your melee, you make orbs with your primary, you get the idea. You have an endless supply of getting yourself fully healed up. Now next is insulation. We have two mods to get our class ability back faster, and trust me, we want that class ability back faster because you'll understand as I break it down. In the cloak, this is very unique here. We're using a Reaper mod so that we can make a orb of power every time we use our class ability, and then we have utility kickstart to help us gain that class ability back faster. Another mod here focusing on the class ability. I wonder where Frogbolt is getting to. Last but not least is going to be powerful attraction. I really like this mod. I get close and personal, I get all the orbs, get my class ability back faster. It's a flexible one, but I do enjoy it. Now, let's go ahead and get to the juicy part, and that's going to be my subclass. Let's go ahead and start with my regular abilities. We're going to be using Gambler's Dodge. This is important. Every time I dodge, I get my melee back, and then we have that powerful threaded spike that's going to tag multiple opponents, sever them to help you stay alive a little bit better, and then you can also catch it if you're okay with it. I know it's kind of annoying to deal with, but you can get a big chunk of your ability back and just spam that melee again. Trust me, this melee ability is actually good in PvE now. It's very worth using, and it's good. My grenade is going to be the grapple. Every time we grapple, we already established that I'm going to gain Woven Mail because of my exotic. On top of that, we're pairing it combined with thread of transmutation. When we have that Woven Mail, we make that tangle. So I did tease you on that idea earlier. This is the synergy here, the trifecta on how it's going to work. As for my aspects, these are a pretty big deal, very different than what you're used to. I need you to pay attention to me because at first you're not going to agree with me, but it's going to make sense, trust me. So first of all, Whirling Maelstrom, what an amazing Beyblade ability. You make tangles, you throw it, shoot it, whatever, and it's going to make that tangle just spin around forever, causing damage to all targets. Now, this is taking place of the double grapples. Why am I not using them? I want my grapple back faster so I can get that Woven Mail so that I can make more tangles, right? Well, here is the big kicker. Remember, on my gauntlets I have a mod where I throw my melee and I get a big chunk of my grenade energy back. Perfect. Now we have Thread of Generation. Dealing damage generates grenade energy. And have you seen the Beyblade, how it goes and just tears through all the enemies, all the constant damage it's doing? Yeah, basically what I'm getting at is that Whirling Maelstrom, the Beyblade tangles, are going to get you that grenade back really fast to the point where you don't even realize you don't have double grapples. And it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. So this ability does a lot of damage to the ads. It helps you with the ad clear, and it's just outright fun. The next one I present to you is the most slept on aspect in the game right now. Holy! After the buff, Threaded Specter is amazing, a one-of-a-kind aspect in Destiny 2. This is the only taunt ability I think we have in the game. What does this mean? Think of it as the monkey bomb from Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies. You throw this little clone on the floor. Now all the enemies, like I'm pretty sure all of them, even the crazy bosses at the end of a strike or GM, whatever, will target the clone and you are practically invisible. So one way for you to imagine it is you're a hunter, you just popped invis, right, you're safe. You can go for a rest, you can go hide, you can run, whatever you want. But this is on a whole nother level. Not only does it save you, it saves your teammates as well. Pop the clone to go get a revive. You can trust the clone. I'm serious. You know, it might be a little bit sketchy, but you can really trust the clone. Once you want to pop the clone to do damage to the ads, you can. You can also just pop the clones for your teammates to get to an area much safer or distract the ads while you do DPS. There's so many ways to play around the Threaded Specter. The clone as well. Dude, yes. It's like a monkey bomb now. I love it so much. It reminds me of, like, you know, the OG days. You're playing Black Ops. My favorite part is that I can go into the action. I feel like I'm getting surrounded or there might be some danger. I pop that little monkey bomb, Strand clone, little green man, whatever you want to call it. And then I could just fight those ads from a distance so they don't get too close to it. They'll ignore me even if I'm doing damage to them. So now you see the reason as to why we have utility kickstart. We have the double mods to get our class ability back faster, because this essentially is a major crutch for me as a hunter to play in endgame PvE. With that out of the way, what are the remaining fragments that we have here on this kit? Thread of Propagation. Powered melee final blows grant your strand weapons unraveling rounds. So if I'm using Quicksilver and I get some kills with the threaded spike, I get unraveling rounds. As I'm shooting enemies with unraveling rounds, I'm doing additional damage than I normally would just shooting regular bullets, and it's helping me get that grapple back. So that's another way for me to get that infinite grenade. The last fragment here is going to be Thread of Rebirth. Now this one is definitely a flexible one. I use it for fun, and I do think it helps because it tags other enemies. It helps me make even more tangles. Strand weapon final blows have a chance to create a threadling. It's just fun. I like it. It gives me more reason to run more strand weapons here on my kit. I've already messed around with several other aspects, and in my honest opinion, they're not worth it, right? Some of them are nice. It really is going to depend on you, but I wouldn't change anything unless I told you they're flexible, such as the Thread of Rebirth, some of the mods on your helmet and your chest piece, because this is the kit you want to get the most efficient, setup going, to spam the Beyblades, to spam the Threaded Specters. It works. I put in hours of gameplay here on the Strand Hunter, so I can tell you how to have so much fun using it. As for the weapons, these are going to be quite flexible. Do not worry. I love using the Quicksilver Storm. And while we're at that topic, let me give you a very little secret tip that not a lot of people know. And if you do, congratulations, round of applause for you. And basically, whenever you're in the grenade launcher form, spam reload. Spam reload, and you can spam grenade launcher shots so fast. I know you'll see the gameplay, you'll be like, man, what is FrostBolt doing that he's just spamming G.O.A.T shots so fast? My Quicksilver doesn't work like that, bro. What is that? So basically, yeah, just spam reload and you can just shoot grenade launchers very fast. It makes it really more effective inside of PvE. I like to use a sniper just so I have something with range, and then a Strand rocket launcher. And by no means am I saying this is meta, but I did have a blast with it.
Pun intended.
You can also mess around with the Solstice of Heroes rocket launcher. It's Strand. I think it has chain reaction, so a lot of booms, okay? I have a good time with it. Now, the reason I'm going in spamming rockets is because the artifact, mind you, this doesn't matter in the future seasons, but for now, you can use the frenzy stacks to give your tangles more damage and elemental munitions to make yourself even more heavy so you can spam more ammo. Anyways, that is everything. This is my favorite build in the game right now. It's so good. I'm going to be using it so much. I already have put in so many hours into this, and many people were curious as to what I was using. Well, here it is, man. The Strand Bolt, the Beyblade Later Rip, the little green man Strand clone, whatever you want want to call it. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.